Good morning, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here from Visualized NZ. Monday morning, it's Deal It Up Challenge time. So if you haven't joined us before for the Deal It Up Challenge, a warm welcome to you. I hope you enjoy this little creative challenge. And if you feel like participating, that would be awesome. There's heaps of videos on this challenge, so if this one doesn't kind of excite you, maybe you want to take a look at some of the past ones and see if you want to jump in on any of them. They're open, just because it was recorded some time ago doesn't mean you can't do it any time. That would be awesome. And if you would like to share what you make, you can tag me on Instagram. You can post it in Visual Vibes on Facebook. That's my Facebook group. Links for those are below, or you could email it to me if you're not on those social media channels. Right, so I'm going to pull my first card, and as you can see, I've got 4 stacks here, so we're going with 4 prompts today. So we're going to make a masterboard today. I've been making a few masterboards lately, and it's not a bad thing. They are so useful. But it'll be interesting to see what we get to pair with this masterboard. Okay, so let's pick prompt number 2 is going to be paint. Ooh, haven't got much paint around me. I should learn really and grab out things that I might need before I start recording these, but I don't. Very occasionally I might grab a paper napkin just in case, but often I don't, and often I don't grab anything that might come up in these prompts. So I do have some paint, but just not a lot, not very much choice. Oh, this is going to be a challenge. Okay, we're getting some challenging ones lately. Now this one could throw a spanner in the works for this. I'm a bit nervous. Oh dear. I'm very nervous that this is just going to completely not work at all. But however, let's bite the bullet and see what comes. It's a challenge. Shall we rise to the challenge today, or shall we fall flat on our faces? Well, I could fall flat on my face because, Okay, fingers crossed. We are going to use a bit of a letter or note. Now, that's okay. I think we can make that work. I'm thinking monochrome. It could be any colour. Shades of green or shades of blue, whatever. But I'm thinking if I go black and white, then just a handwritten note on white paper would meet that. And on my desk I have white paint. So I think I'm going to be going white, black and white, which is essentially monochrome. Whether I've got enough papers or things, challenging. That is the word, is challenging. So first off, I need a base for the masterboard, don't I? So I'm not going to worry about the back of the masterboard, whether it fits with these prompts or anything. I'm just going to worry about the, the decorated side of the masterboard. So I'm going to grab a bit of this accounting software book that I often use as a backing. It's just regular weight paper, nothing special. It is actually slightly smaller than an A4 sheet, so I think with a challenging set of prompts, a little bit on the smaller side is not a bad thing, because it won't be quite a struggle. I'm just going to shift these out of my way and trim up this edge here so that we're ready to then grab out some things to make our masterboard with. I would be super keen to see what people do with the prompt this week and how you manage to pull this one off. I'm quite interested, to be honest, how I'm going to pull this off. It's a tricky one. But I'm actually also excited that it's a tricky one you know, because it is a challenge. So, right, I'm thinking book page and not my usual old, you know, the creamy, the yellowed or the brown book page, but I'm thinking perhaps more of the whitish. So like bits like that, and this, and this. So this is sort of off-white, but we can, you know, be as pedantic as you like, but there's different shades of white. So I'm going with whatever. It's essentially going to be monochrome. So just pulling out bits that I feel would fit. Oh, there's some pattern there, that would be cool. Some more. Random bits and pieces. I know I'm off screen for this, guys, and I do apologise, but it's just easier for me to do this in front of my nose, essentially. Okay, I think I'm exhausting my bits that are suitable. Oh, how about that? Yep, okay. Right, now I've got my bag of coloured scraps and I'm wondering, I don't know if I've got any sort of black and white in there. Oh, there is a bit of a note here, handwritten note. It's blue and white. That's a shame. Oh, what's this down here? It looks like a black and white pattern. Yes, that's black and white. That's a bit out of a flow book for paper lovers. So I'm going to put these two bits back because they're definitely not black and white. There's another bit, black and white. So yeah, like I was saying, monochrome could be anything. It doesn't need to be black and white. It could be, you know, lots of shades of any colour that you choose, whatever colour that may be. Right. I think we've got enough there to at least start the process. So I'm going to start with layers of paper. We get two different sides there, which is fun. You can mix it up. So I'll take off the red because we're not after that red stripe. Oh, it's raining. It's a very, very warm day here today and very windy. And the rain that we're getting is just rain that's blowing off across from the mountains. The mountains are a long way away, but the wind is extremely strong, if that gives you any idea of how strong the wind is. Yeah, so occasionally we get a bit of that blow across rain, and that's what's happening right now. Right, I'm just going to start laying some pieces down on our masterboard. And I think this is actually going to be really cool because when you come to decorating, you know, cut it into pieces and start decorating, you can really put beautiful, colourful pieces as your focal point and they're really going to stand out. So I think that could be quite fun. I think I want some of those stars in. It'd be quite nice. So, as with any of my masterboards, I don't worry about a right or wrong direction. I put them every which way so that when you chop it up, it doesn't matter whether it's upside down or right side up or anything because it's just all over the place. But if that would bother you, then do work to a direction. Make sure you have your things the same way up. It's very hard for me to use this flow paper because like once it's gone, it's gone. But I'm going to do it, or at least use some of it. this is all I've got left from these two bits, and I've got fun stripes on the back, but you know, it's not doing any good just sitting in my flow book, is it? It needs to come out and be used and enjoyed. And I'm totally giving myself a pep talk here. It's like, yes, you can use this. And I was okay with using the rest of these bits of paper because it was like, well, I've still got bits left. But very soon that's not going to be true, is it? So, giving myself a pep talk. I can do this. Oops, I think my glue page needs changing. I often, at the end of doing a session, don't switch out my glue page, and so I come to use it in another session and it's like, oh, that's a bit sticky. So, oops. I always do that when I'm trying to avoid knocking the camera. I always end up tearing the page, but that's okay. It's just a glue page. It's no biggie. Okay, let's rip into this one as well, because I can do this. And I think I want to take one of those straight edges off. Let's put it in this corner. So how is everyone today? How was your weekend? I hope you all had a great weekend. It's always over way too quickly, isn't it? Just vanishes in the blink of an eye, seemingly. So I hope you were able to do something fun, make the most of that short time we have before the new week starts. This is a Horticultural Society newsletter, which was just some random bits that were in with something I purchased. And it's like, well, I'm not going to throw it out. I'm going to use it. So, okay, I'll probably keep that bit for a stamping bit. I can trim down the text off it. I don't want that larger bit, do I? Nope. So let's that there. So what did I get up to at the weekend? I have to say not a lot. What did we do? We watched quite a bit of TV. Hubby was really tired, so we had quite a quiet day. Yeah, we watched, what did we watch? Matrix Resurrections. We've only watched it once, so we haven't actually finished it yet, but we started watching that last night after dinner. So we'll finish that off tonight. Today, of course, Sunday, I'm recording on Sunday, so you get it on Monday, speaking New Zealand time. So I had church this morning. Oh, it was super cute. I had two of the little girls on the couch beside me, and they were busy playing and hugging and being oh so adorable. The youngest one is about 2, and the other one's 5, and they're both blonde, blue-eyed, just super cute. And so I got them to, as they were lying on the couch, being super cute, I got them to look at me, and I got this gorgeous photo of them. Just so cute, so cute. So that was really really enjoyable. Such cuties. The youngest one's getting to the age now where she's not quite so shy. We used to play like peekaboo a lot. She'd peek around a chair or something at me, and I'd hide my face and sort of come out and surprise her. So we've kind of built up a little bit of rapport, but now she's sort of feeling safer to come closer and, you know, engage a bit more, which is, I just love that process. That's really sweet. Oops, I don't want that bit. That's too yellow. Pop it back in the bag there. So I need to also remember the bit of a letter or note. Don't forget. Don't let me forget, guys. Does that fit? Yeah, I think if we put more than one bit of it, I think it will be fine. I think it's just on its own. It looks a bit too different, not as white as the rest of it. Actually, I might put it over here. So gosh, that rain is going to make things grow like crazy. We're in spring and it's the growing season. And we've got this really invasive vine that's super annoying. It grew over from the neighbours, and the neighbours removed it from their side after a few years, but we can't get rid of it on our side. It, like, hubby took to it last summer and really tried to get it out, and it's just growing back, and it's so frustrating. And one of the tendrils, because we've got a big deck and we can't get under the deck, and so it just grows under the deck and then just, you know, comes up, even though we've tried poison and all sorts of stuff. Well, we've got this tendril that grows up our wall and then in under our windowsill, because our house is like weatherboard and then it's rough plaster on the outside, so there's gaps, and it grows up the gaps and then pops out under the windowsill in the kitchen. And it happens very, very quickly. So on Friday, there was nothing there. Sorry, on Thursday, no, Friday morning there was nothing there. On Friday evening, when we got home, because I was out all day, there was a 6 centimetre, about 6 centimetre length growing out from under the windowsill. And all I can do is just pull, and whatever breaks off, breaks off. And it will keep doing that. It's so annoying. I wish we could get rid of it, but it's just, it's horrible. It really is horrible. I don't know what we can do about it. I don't know how the neighbours actually managed to get rid of it from their side, but they didn't have it. Theirs was in a very small garden section, and they didn't have things that it was growing under, apart from our fence. So yeah, don't know what we're going to do. It's just annoying, and it's a strangling vine, so it's growing up all through our native trees, under our deck, around our lemon tree, our lime tree. Oh. Have I said, told you, I don't like it. It does have a beautiful flower, and it's flowering at the moment. It's a beautiful, deep, deep purple, absolutely stunning flower. But the vine itself, it's not worth the flower. I'm sorry, but the flower is not enough of a reward for putting up with this really invasive vine. And of course, the flowers, you know, only flowers for a short time, and then you're just left with the vine making a menace of itself. Anyway, I don't know why I told you all that, but just, yeah, I've got this problem vine. Right, this is cute little instruction booklet, and it's got foreign language on it, so that's cool. Just taking off some of the straight edges, and I take this just down to the text rather than have a lot of empty white. Oh, I like this floral piece off the pattern paper. That's pretty. Well, I'm glad I chose the other side to glue down, because I just noticed in bold a big word saying danger on the side I've put the glue on. It may say danger on this side, but I can't read it, so I'm not worried about it. Okay, let's put a bit. Yeah, why not use the stamps? It's a bit of fun. Just give it. This is a bit from a stamp album for collecting stamps. That's cute, but I might wait and put something under it so this is on top. What else can I tell you about? Gosh, I don't know. I sound like I've lead a very boring life, don't I? And in truth, it probably is to most people, but I love what I do. I love that I get to craft all the time. I'm a total introvert, so I don't mind being alone. But like I went out Friday, I make sure I do have days like that, because otherwise I would never see anybody apart from church, because I think about going out and doing something outside the house, and it's like, oh no, I'm happy. I'll just, I could be doing craft. I don't need to go out. I can just be crafting. So yes, it takes a concerted effort for me to go out, and I almost didn't go out on Friday, but I really recognised in myself, after having quite a big headache last week, that I just needed some time to go out, get out of my space, get some fresh air, see some people, connect with people, and I had fun. It was great. Put that there, I think. But it does, I left the decision right until the last minute. Well, not quite last minute, but until I got up the next day on the Friday to actually decide whether I was going to go or not. And I still do have a headache actually, but not the really strong headache that I had last week, which is good. I can live with a mild headache. That's just kind of, I hate to say it, but it's kind of normal for me. But those strong ones, don't like those. They're not fun. It's a little, I don't know if that's a stamp. It doesn't look like a stamp. The bottom's cut off, so it might be, but it's like a photo of a queen. Don't know who. Definitely not Queen Elizabeth II. It's someone else. Or it could be someone like Marie Antoinette or someone, judging by the clothing. Not sure. Really not sure. Now she's got a flat edge, so maybe we'll pop her down there, even though that bit's already collaged. Okay, right, before I go too much further, I need to sort out the part of the letter or note. Okay, so first I need to write a letter or note. So grab out a bit of white paper out of my white paper scraps and a black pen. I'm going to go fountain pen for this. Grab out my pencil case, and no, that's green, that one's black. And now think about what I'm going to write. What would you write for a note? Maybe a note to myself about not forgetting to do something. So I'm putting my name. Oh gosh, that's terrible writing. Don't forget to stew up the bruised, that's another story, apples that are sitting on the kitchen bench before Shane, who's my hubby, throws them out. Because he will, if they sit there too much longer, he'll just throw them out. Okay, I think that's all we need. Just a little note, as if I've written myself a note, and I did. I wrote myself a note. So, yep, seems to be dry, so that's good. So if you don't have a letter or note already that you can tear off that fits with your monochromatic theme, just write one. Write yourself a letter, write something pretend. Right, I'm going to tear off all these straight edges. Now it doesn't matter if I lose a word because I'm going to tear it into more pieces, or a couple anyway, because it's only a wee note. And I'm probably going to tear my name off because I don't really want my name on my masterboard, do I? Because who knows where it's going to end up, what journal. So let's, and I've got Shane's name in there too, but I've managed to rip it in half, so that's good. Let's add that in. Actually quite a nice idea, adding a little bit of your handwriting into a masterboard. I'm actually quite glad that came out in that prompt, because I never would have considered writing a note to include in a masterboard before. So how fun is that? That adds a little bit more personality, doesn't it? But more uniqueness to your projects. Because what you write, your own personal handwriting, the pen you choose to write with, then what you can guarantee another person will never do exactly the same combination. Right, let's use up this bit, just using the capital letter font there. And did I see a bit around the edge that wasn't covered? No, maybe not. Okay, I can tear this down a bit more then, because I don't want that cut edge. Pop that there. So we're getting down to the smaller gaps, although I've got this big area in the middle. And don't worry, I haven't forgotten about the paint, but I'm going to save that to last, I think, because then it will need time to dry. Right, let's put some more of this pattern paper in, because I think that adds a fun element. Don't really want that straight edge, so let's sacrifice a bit more. Yep, tiny little bits I'm getting off. Probably be easier if I ruled it, but you know, tore it with a ruler, but never mind. Here we go. Maybe up here. Bit up there. Yeah, so the story about the apples, I may have actually said it because it's from beginning of the month. Went to a community dinner. So sorry if you've heard the story before. And there was boxes of things for people to take home. Food rescued from supermarkets. And so once everybody else had gone, I grabbed a few bits that were left over. And there was quite a lot of apples. So I took, there were little paper bags, and so I, you know, about that sort of size, I guess. So I put about 4 apples in each bag, and I was walking out to the car and was talking with a lady, and one of the bags I was holding underneath and the other one I was just holding by the top, and they were very cheap, thin paper bags. And the one I was holding by the top just ripped open and the apples all fell out and rolled across the car park. So the lady I was talking with gathered them all up for me, which was really kind. But yes, they all got, the car park was cobblestones, you know, hard cobblestones, so they all got bruised and would have been really not very enjoyable to eat. So it says, oh, it's all right, I'll just stew them up. And they're still sitting on the bench, not stewed up yet. So I'm just too busy crafting. But I really need to make time to stew the apples because, yeah, they'd be yummy stewed. And I can, as I cut them up, I can get rid of any bits that are, you know, super bruised. But if I wait too long, they're just going to go off. No, they won't last forever, will they? Right, a bit of this starry puzzle paper. And then let's use the other side with the crossword in there. The only problem with this that I have is differentiating the background with what I'm laying down and where I've still got gaps that I haven't put anything, because it gets hard to tell between, you know, the base piece and my additions. Maybe we'll go with another bit of this more sort of off-white book page. In there. Gosh, I seriously need to get myself some more glue sticks. I think I've got 3 left, and this one is number 4, and it's getting very close to running out. I don't like the thought of, oops, that's meeting up too much there, so let's kind of, there, put it on an angle. Don't like the thought of getting too low. Another bit of this little product pamphlet. Just a little bit for a gap. Oh, it's actually not long enough for that gap. Just pop it down there, I think. No idea how long I've been filming for. Getting lost in the art of collage. It's so fun. Okay, a bit more of this Asian text. Don't want the blue. Pretty as the blue is. Pop that about there, I think. That's from our electric toothbrushes. You can tell by the text on the other side. And just this tiny little scrap left of the Asian characters. Somewhere, we can pop it somewhere. Oops, that bit's not glued down quite adequately. There we go. Maybe we'll just pop it there and break up that seam where there's a few pieces joining together. Might as well use up the wee scraps if we can. Okay. Yep, that bit covers that nicely. So I'd love to see some colour, monochromatic colour masterboards from you guys. That would be super cool, and I think could be a lot of fun. I'm actually having fun with this. I'm getting over the challenging aspect and kind of just really enjoying it now. No, that's the same. Oh, there's like a crossword key in here. Is that long enough? Oh, it might be. Oops. It's kind of fun. Yep, that fits nicely. And if you want to do a black and white one, then absolutely I'd love to see that as well, because yours will definitely be different to mine. Right, so I've got this bit and a bit over here to do. Okay. Put another, how about a bit of this viney decoration here. Of those hard edges. And it's not wide enough. It's close. But it actually works there, surprise, surprise. And it looks a lot creamier in with all the other white, but I can live with that. That'll be fine. It actually ties in with that stamp album title there. Okay, so just this gap here, I think, is all we're left with. Running out of options here. Put another bit of this in. Why not? And look, I've still got a wee scrap of it. Just a little scrap. Or I can use that side on something, the colour side. That can go there. Nice. So for the monochromatic aspect, I could use black or white paint. But I've only got white here, so it's going to be white. Right, I'm just going to pop all these bits of book page back in the bag so they're out of my way. Okay. So when I cover the back, I'll probably do it with something like brown paper or packing paper or something, because the back doesn't have to be monochrome, although it could be if you choose. Okay, just trimming up a few bits there. Just going to shake my paint. It's just regular house paint, exterior as it happens. And I'll need a paintbrush, which I'm going to have to reach for. I do apologise. It's right at the top of my desk. Brush a little bit of a... See, nearing the end of its life, this poor paintbrush. It's been well used. Just looking for my little yogurt bottle lid to serve as my paint palette. And is that big enough? No, not really. Is that big enough? Nope. Just looking around for something big enough to put under my piece of paper here, and I can't see anything, so I'm going to grab a couple more bits of this paper and put a couple underneath. That'll be fine. Two should be enough, I think. There we go. It's a bit hard to see, but that's all right. Doesn't really matter. Okay, let's grab out some of this paint. And I have no idea on how I'm going to do the paint or add the paint aspect. Don't think I'll need a lot. I don't have any water to thin it down, so I don't want to go too heavy and obscure all my detail, do I? You know, so just going to try and maybe try a dry brush type technique, maybe, so I'm not going too heavy. And maybe just soften some of those joinings where the bits of paper join each other. Because you just have to use paint. It doesn't have to be a focal part. It doesn't have to be super important. You just need to include it in some fashion. Or if there's anything that you do want to cover up because, oh no, there's a really bad word or there's somebody's name there or something you don't want, then, you know, your paint would come in absolutely perfect for that, to cover up bits you don't want. Or you could use it as a focal point and do something really decorative. You could do some, actually I've got Poscas there, but I've only got white Poscas. I don't have a black one. So, you know, you could doodle with your paint. If you've got paint markers, you could do some really fun doodles. And I would actually love to do that, but I would need a black one and I don't have a black one. So, this is a nice idea. Maybe that's an idea for somebody else. Not for me today. Just using it to soften all those joins and add a bit more texture. Muting down some of that text. Not all of it, just some of it. And this is actually helping to bring it all together as well. But this is actually going to be really cool to add focal points to. They're really going to show up beautifully, you know. You imagine something bright and happy, a bird or a flower or something. It's just going to stand out really, really nicely. Getting some of that brush texture in there. Just turning it around, making sure I get different spots. I like those brush marks there, they're cool. Just not getting too much paint on my brush for this. As I turn it around, I'll catch more areas that I haven't dealt with. Okay, we're almost done them all. Just do a quick little once over, make sure I've got all those interior joins sort of done. Okay, I think that's looking fairly good. And now what I'm thinking also is just to kind of run around the edge a little bit, which, you know, once this is cut up, it's not all the edges are going to be painted, so maybe I'll go in with white paint once I've chopped it up and catch those edges, the new edges that don't have paint on them. But I will wait and see as to how it looks, because most likely I'll be vintage photoing everything anyway, but I think that would look nice over the white paint actually, bit of vintage photo. So yeah, I don't know why the white paint lives on my desk, but it does, and it's actually quite handy. I use it like gesso because I can't, well actually I found my gesso but I couldn't get the lid off, and I keep forgetting to ask hubby to do it in the evenings, get it off for me. So I just resort to white paint when I need gesso. Right, got a bit much paint on my brush there. And just with the rest that's left on my brush, I'm just dulling down some of those dark areas where there's nothing. And it has made the fountain pen run. Not worried. It's just texture. Here we go. I think I'm happy with that. Okay, and we've still got white paint left over. So let's check that we've got everything. Oops, fingers in the wet paint. So we have a masterboard. Check. We have paint. We have that because I've just added it and I've now got it on my fingers. So paint, check. We have monochrome. So I did black and white, but a colour monochromatic colour scheme would be really cool as well. So whatever monochrome colour scheme you want to go with is great. And then we have a bit of a letter or note, so I hand wrote a little note to myself and ripped it into pieces and popped it in there, so check. So we have 4 prompts done on a very interesting background. I think it's going to be really fun to decorate once I've chopped it into bits. Maybe 4 journal cards or something, I'm not sure. It'll depend how, the dimensions when I start chopping it. So there we go, people. There's the challenge for this week. 4 challenges. Quite an interesting one. I think you'll probably agree. It's a little bit of an interesting one, bit of a challenge. So hopefully you're inspired by this. If you do give it a go, do let me know. Tag me, post it in Visual Vibes, etc. Because I'd be super interested to see what you do. Okay guys, take care, have a great evening, and I'll be back tomorrow for Trashcraft Tuesday. Bye for now.